You want to be an entrepreneur? You're not really sure where to start? Well, this week on Motivation and Confidence, we talk about small change and big impact. I talk about the story of how I left 2 jobs and fell flat on my face before I almost got it right. Stay tuned. All right, everybody worldwide, you're now tuned into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. And I'm your host, Tom Danger. Back this week with a new episode. And this week we're at episode number 69. Small change, big impact. I always like to start with the story because a lot of these strategies that I'm giving you come from mistakes that I've made or risks that I've taken or just stuff that I've been through, and I figured that I could possibly help someone else by sharing my story. So here we go. I remember years ago, I was working at a particular job right out of right out of college. I had actually started there as an intern and wanted a job. My girlfriend at the time was my wife now, was pregnant with our first child, and we were about 18, 19 years old. And grinding, both of us in school, doing our thing. And I needed to get a job. So I was in my last year of college. I believe it was last year, second to last year. And I did a 6-month internship at a hotel. And once that position came available, I applied for it, I think 3 times, and they denied me each time, just saying I wasn't ready. Mind you, I was actually doing the job itself for a good 3 months, pretty much running the restaurant as an assistant restaurant manager on my own, staff of 12, not even 21 years old, right? Doing food inventory, checking cost controls, managing payroll, just sort of, fed me to the wolves and or threw me in the water and said, sink or swim. And I swam, right? Now, I had this crazy idea that someday I was going to be a rap artist. And my goal originally was to graduate from school and get a 9-to-5 job so that after 5 I could work on my craft. This is something that's been in my mind as a kid, pretty much. This is what I wanted to do, right? Things come up in life, and when my wife was pregnant with our son, I had to make a way to provide for our family at the time. So I wound up doing an internship, getting hired at the hotel. I stayed there for almost 7 years. 7 years. Now, while I was there, I had dabbled a little bit. I would record tracks here and there. Back then I had like my MySpace page or whatever. I had put together like a little... Did I even put together a website? I don't even think I had a website back then or any videos. I was just recording music in the crib on Cakewalk. And, pretty much just putting out mixtapes. Because I always felt like this is something that I wanted to do. It didn't really work as planned, but it's all part of the journey. So in the book, The 7 Steps, it's a shameless plug, I might as well talk about it. I talk about when I tried to take one of my demos to Russell Simmons. And he basically said, I don't do demos. So here I am on this journey, right? And this journey has probably been documented now almost 20 years. I've done music off and on. I've had some wins, I've had some losses, but I am continuing the journey. And along this journey, I honestly feel that everything that I've been through has actually prepared me for this moment. This moment being, I will not give up. I will die trying. I will continue to build a fan base. If you're interested in checking out the current project, you can go to TommyDanger.net. It's on all digital platforms. Motivation and Confidence, Volume 1, The 7 Steps. If you want to check out the book is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and now it's on Google Play. And the reason why I titled this particular podcast is Small Change, Big Impact is because if you really have a goal in mind that you want to achieve, while some people may think that it's this dramatic change and, you know, you got to make this huge leap of faith and, you know, soar and see where you land. Now, I tried that too. When I left the hotel, you know, I tried and I fell flat on my face. Like I literally, when I left the hotel, I didn't have another gig lined up. Shame on me, right? So I had to wind up working little part-time jobs again to take care of the family and so forth. And then I wound up in another job that was paying decent money. But this time, I learned from my first mistake, which is I need money to fund my project. I need monies to fund my passion of being an artist. So there would be days when I would wake up in the morning, 5 o'clock, record a song, be done by 6:30, and I'm at work 9 o'clock. After work, take care of the kids, take care of home. By 7, 8 o'clock, I'm recording again. I'm doing a TV show. We're doing online promotion. You know, promoting and going to industry events doesn't really happen on Fridays and Saturdays. A lot of those things are on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I would be out at different events during the week, connecting with people through the TV show, Danger Vision, interviewing different people. If you're interested in some of those interviews, I'll put some links for some more notable people that I've interviewed, like Taraji P. Henson, Ice-T, Joel Santana, Tyga, Kim Osorio. Some pretty cool interviews. 3 6 Mafia. Some people that are still, you know, doing their thing right now. But that was part of the grind. That's part of the journey, you know. Staying uncomfortable. You know, it was never the fact of, all right, finding a job, I'm making decent money, now let me just fall back and just make this bread here. Nah. Back then, pressing up CDs cost money. You know, mailing stuff out to different stores cost money. Building a website costs bread. So you may hear some people say like, oh, you know, you're not really living your passion unless you do it 100%. You got to strategize. You got to put a strategy in place. You got to visualize. What do you want it to look like? How do you want it to feel? And build your way to it. You don't just build a house out of the sake of your mind. You got to have plans. You got to map it out. What does the structure look like? What is it made from? Begin with the end in mind. Like, what is the house supposed to look like? What is your passion? What is your goal? Where do you want to be? How do you see yourself? And with that, when you start with the vision, that is in itself the small change. The small change starts in your mind. It is a mental shift. It is not getting caught up in living and believing that all you are here to do is to work a job for someone else. You have a greater purpose. And you have to tap into that greater purpose, and you have to cater to that greater purpose on a daily basis. But you have to take the time to do so. Now back to my journey. So I'm continuing on. Again, I took another leap, was in another dead-end job. Not really dead-end, but it wasn't where I wanted to be in life. So I had to take another risk. I saved up some money. I tried again. I fell on my face again. Second time. The second time I actually hit the floor a lot harder than the first time. Some may say, shame on me. I didn't strategize enough. Maybe I didn't. But I know better for the third time. I'm not going to make the same mistake 3 times. I know that part of my gift while I'm here on this planet is talking to you guys. Despite the music and the videos and the TV and all that other stuff, it is actually talking to you guys. I hope that someone listens to this and realizes that they have a greater purpose, that everything is in divine order. No matter how painful it may feel, go through that pain, go through that fire, because it's preparing you for your moment. And your moment will not happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when the universe says it's time. But you have to constantly put out those waves, those thoughts that say, yes, this is who I am. I am an artist. I am an engineer. I am a scientist. I'm an entrepreneur. And you got to put in that work. One of my favorite words is grind. You got to grind. You got early mornings. You got late nights. Always got to have your pad writing down your ideas. I go through these books like my mind can't keep up with all the concepts and things that I want to put out there. Right? And that brings me along my journey, even though, I fell down twice. And now I'm in another position in which I'm doing very well. Oh my God. I'm so happy. I'm truly blessed. But it's reaching a point for me to transition. And what that transition is going to look like, I have an idea of what I would like for it to look like. I am very optimistic that the transition is going to be a good transition, right? So that I can continue to work on my greater purpose and working with you guys and sharing my art, I feel like, again, that's what I'm put here to do. I think that a lot of my original work was primarily ego-driven, which was a huge mistake. I was young. I didn't know any better, Now I know that, again, things have to be done with a greater purpose. There are so many people watching and listening and depending on me so that they can live their purpose. Because sometimes I think back, and I was having this conversation with my son, a couple of things. The first thing was, are we ever really taught how to maintain being successful? And really think about that for a minute. Most of the time we're taught how to struggle, how to fight the struggle is what we're taught. We're taught how to fight the struggle. When you're down, get up. When you don't have much, you make the best of it. When you're given lemons, make lemonade. Okay, now I have lemons, I have lemonade, I have a cart, I have a stand, I have a company, okay? What am I continuing to do with that success? My hope is to make other people successful and make other people happy. But I'm thinking as a child, like growing up, was that ever taught to me? No, it wasn't. Right? I was taught work hard so that your kids don't have to be in the same predicament that you were in. Right? So, again, the book, Motivation and Confidence, Volume 1, The 7 Steps, is just a small piece of the journey that I've been on and providing an outline for you to pursue your dreams, if you don't know how to create a framework to structure your vision to take it from point A to point D, the 7 steps will show you. The music that goes with it is to complement the book, which talks about grinding, which talks about visions, talks about being great, talks about what people say, right? Talks about haters. These are all things that you're going to encompass while you're going through your journey. And the journey is the beautiful part, because that road is different for each of us. But we have to be brave enough to travel a path, because it's going to be a path that you've never really seen before. And you can't live in fear. So, through all my career and working, I am at that pivotal fork in the road once again as to how far my art and how far my service to you will take me. I ask you to support what I do if you find it beneficial. If you don't want to buy anything outright, you can go to any music streaming platform and give Motivation and Confidence a listen. If you dig it, add it to your playlist. If not, that's fine too. I invite you to go to Amazon and read a free sample of the book to see if you like it, see if it's something that you want to show your support for. And if you are just gung-ho over what we're doing over here and you want to show your full support, you could also go to tomdanger.com and get the digital download of the book and the EP. I think it's about $12 or something like that. I do have printed copies of the book. I have quite a few on hand. So if you'd like an autographed copy, send me an email to tommydanger@gmail.com or leave a comment below. I'll be happy to do that. But that's my story for right now. Small change, big impact. You have to start with the small change in your mind that whatever it is you want to do, you're going to do it. And then start taking small steps to make it to bring it, into action. So I have a couple of steps that you can do that once you make that small change and have a big impact. The very first thing, and the most important thing you can do, or that you have to do, is believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You cannot have not even a drop of doubt in what it is that you do. And if you do, don't do it. You have to be so confident in what it is that you're doing so that you can express that to others, okay? Second thing you want to do, you want to visualize your success. What does your success look like? What does your success look like? I see a very cool thing. I used to do it. I'm going to do it again. Is create a board, right? And you can have your focus board, and you can put all your items up there, your goals, people that you respect and admire. You put all that stuff up on your board, so you can visualize your success. Surround yourself with like-minded people. And what's so cool about technology right now is even if you can't meet people in person, there are a bunch of people that you can follow online, from everyday people to celebrities, in which you can get a glimpse into what they do to basically live out their dreams, and follow those people and talk to those people and ask those people questions. Okay? Ask me some questions if you like, It's all good. I'm here for you. Work on your craft or your project every day. I cannot stress this enough. I'm always writing songs in my head. I'm always jotting down notes for the podcast. I'm always thinking of different treatments for videos. I'm always taking pictures of things that I see in serenity, that bring me peace, that help me with my daily mindfulness, right? So you want to work on your craft every day. And without going real crazy, like just start real light. Like start 10, 15 minutes every day. Like this guy told me, like when I first started writing my book, like whatever you do, find a space and a time that you're going to do it in that space, in that time every day. Do it every single day until you see some progress, okay? Now, this is another thing. If you don't really, like once you start getting some momentum behind what you're doing and you're trying to get the word out about it, and you don't have other people who can speak on your craft or your project, or your business on your behalf, automate. There are plenty of programs out there. You know, you can set up email campaigns, you know, respectfully, like just don't grab people's email address and spam them. But, you know, you can ask people to join your mailing list. Join my mailing list if you like, TommyDanger@gmail.com. Or you can go over to Tom Danger, TOMDANGER.com, and you can sign up for the mailing list there. But automate some of the things, like you can automate your post to Facebook, just to scheduling. It's like a bunch of things out there. I use Crowdfire. You can use Hootsuite. You can use, you know, it's a bunch of things out there. Constantly refine whatever it is that you're working on. You know, in the song that's called Now and Never, that's also on the Motivation and Confidence EP. You know, I talk about when you refine something, you want to put it in front of people so that they can give you constructive criticism so that you can take that feedback to constantly make the project better, right? And we're not talking about haters. Haters let you know that you're actually putting in work, right? Because if you want to take time out of your busy day to talk about how crappy of a job that I'm doing, I must be doing something right. Because why would you really care? Or you have this self depiction of what failure should look like. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you get upset and you want to voice that to somebody else, right? So you want to constantly refine. And lastly, and the most important thing that I must say is always be of service. At the end of the day, we are servants to each other. We are servants to the universe. We are servants to a greater cause. It's just like going into a store. You're not going into a store just to browse. You're going there to get a product or service. Each of us, by nature, can create something that is a product or help someone in by providing a service, and figure out what that is, put it in front of people, and always work in passion and work with love. All right? This is Tommy Danger. Tom Danger, excuse me. Tommy Danger's the rapper, but Tom Danger, Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. Thank you for tuning into Motivation and Confidence, where we help you do your daily best. Like, subscribe, or leave a comment. Check us out on various platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Overcast, Castbox, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, TuneIn, or Alexa Media.